We're going to get started in a few seconds, you guys. Okay. So the title of this video is You're Not Lost. You've just been living someone else's life. And the question I'm going to ask you, are you ready to be the woman that God has created you to be? All right, let's get started, you guys. So have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, who am I? Have you looked in the mirror and thought, who am I? Well, it's not because you forgot your name, no, but because somewhere along the way you disappeared. You spent so much time being who someone else needed you to be that you can't even hear your own voice anymore. Now, you're not Gumby, so you don't have to stretch yourself in every direction until there's nothing left. Yeah, you remember Gumby? Yeah, and you're not Elastigirl, so you don't have to be the perfect mom, the perfect friend, the perfect wife, the perfect employee, and somehow still save everyone else before yourself. And last time I checked, you're not a lump of clay for everyone to mold you into who they think you should become. That's not you. You're not Gumby, you're not Elastigirl, and you're not a lump of clay. Now it's time to peel away the layers of everyone else's expectations so the woman God created can finally breathe. It's time to say, hands off. Put that in the chat. Hands off. Today is the day that you are declaring to the world, to everyone, that they need to take their hands off of you. That this is your life that you need to live, and their hands need to be off. So you put it in the comments. Hands off. Soft love. I don't think most of us are actually lost. I think we've been living someone else's life for so long that we mistake their version of, or that version of ourselves as who we really are. The Bible tells a story that I think mirrors this perfectly, and it's a story of the Israelites moving into Egypt and eventually becoming slaves. So the Israelites, God never called them slaves, Egypt did. And you see, generation after generation, they woke up in an environment that constantly reminded them that you belong to Pharaoh. You exist to serve. You don't have freedom. Imagine hearing that your entire life. Well, let's bring that closer to home. How about you belong to your boss? You exist to serve. You don't have freedom. How many of you have bosses that you feel like you have to serve them, that you don't have freedom? Let's take that a step further. How about you belong to your anger? You belong to your bitterness. You belong to your sadness. You belong to your pain. All of these negative emotions have you in a chokehold, and you serve them because you're constantly replaying the situations, the angers, the emotions, the feelings. You don't have freedom. You're not free. Put it in the chat, put it in the comments if you can relate to that these emotions are holding you captive. Yeah, because I can relate. The anger, the bitterness. Someone did me wrong, and it held me captive. But today, we're going to be set free. We're going to be set free. Because eventually, when we keep replaying these things, these negative emotions, we begin to believe it. But we're not believing that anymore. We're not. Nope. Today is the day. But God never changed his mind about Israel, and he has not changed his mind about you. He still called his chosen people, his treasured possession, his covenant people, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, who does God say you are? You are his chosen daughter. You are his treasured possession. Now put that in the chat. Put that in the comments. I am his chosen daughter. I am his treasured possession. Claim that today. Claim that every day. I am his chosen. I am his chosen daughter. I am his possession, his treasured possession. I am under his wings. He is my shield and my buckler. He is my father, and he is watching over me. He's protecting me. He's loving me. He's valuing me. Remember that you are treasured. You are chosen. So the question becomes, how can God's chosen people become who he created them to be while living in an environment constantly telling them something different? I mean, they couldn't. And that's why before God could transform them, he had to remove them from that environment. And sometimes God doesn't just change your thinking, he has to change your environment, because your environment shapes your identity. And maybe that's where you are right now. Maybe you've been surrounded by so many voices that keep telling you who you should be, instead of reminding you who God says you are. Remember, yes, you are treasured. You're his treasured possession. You are his chosen daughter. Remember that. Yeah. I reached a moment in my life where I honestly didn't even recognize myself anymore. I remember stopping, looking at my life, and asked myself, what am I doing? This isn't me. And somewhere along the way, I had become someone else's version of me. Their expectations, their wants, their opinions, their control. And little by little, I disappeared. And that moment became my wake-up call. It was the moment I realized I had to leave that toxic relationship. Not because it was easy. I mean, believe me, it was not easy. But because I couldn't become who God created me to be while staying in that toxic environment that was constantly reshaping me into someone I wasn't. It wasn't me. Leaving wasn't the end of Israel's struggle. It was the beginning. The people obeyed God during the plagues. They packed up, they walked out, but then they reached the Red Sea. Now picture this. They have the Red Sea on one side and the Egyptian army on the other side. They're trapped. They panicked. I mean, who wouldn't panic? I would panic. But here's the thing that they did. They complained. They questioned God. In times where you're stuck between two hard places, two difficult things, you're in a difficult situation, are you going to complain? Are you going to question God? I mean, even the Israelites, they wanted to go back to Egypt. You remember what they were doing in Egypt? They wanted to go back to slavery, back to what was familiar. Because sometimes what's familiar feels safer than what's free. Can you guys relate to that? If you've ever left a toxic relationship, you would probably understand that feeling. There are moments where loneliness makes the past seem better than what it actually was. Your mind starts editing memories. You remember you remember the good moments, but you forget why you left. You begin wondering if maybe you made a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have left. Maybe I made a mistake. So, I'm telling you this, and I wish someone told me, don't go back. Don't go back. Mm-mm. Don't go back to the environment that convinced you that you weren't enough. Don't go back to the place that slowly erased your identity. Don't go back. Put that in the chat. Put that in the comments. Don't go back. And it's not just about toxic relationships. It could be the negative emotions, the anger. Don't go back to the anger. Don't go back to the pain. Don't go back to sadness. Don't go back to the negative emotions that cause you to be held captive. That you would go back to slavery. You would go back to what is controlling you. Don't go back. Freedom always feels unfamiliar before it feels normal. Thank you guys. Thanks for putting don't go back in the chat. We have to remember who we are. We are daughters, chosen daughters of God. We are His treasured possessions. And we're not going back to the toxic environments, the toxic feelings and emotions that keep us bound. We're not going back. We're not going back. Mm-hmm. Lovely. What I love about this story is that God never forgot who Israel was, even when they forgot who they were. God remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He still called Israel his people. He protected them. He guided them. He provided for them. He stayed with them. He wasn't simply just taking them out of Egypt. He was teaching them who they really are. And I think he's still doing that today. He's calling people out of environments that constantly speak lies so that they can finally hear the truth. It's time to come out of those environments, those negative environments, those lies, people speaking lies, environments speaking lies. You have to come out of it. You have to come out of it. We have to come out of it so that we can hear the truth that God is telling us today. For me, that's what discovering my values has become. It's peeling away years of other people's expectations. It's asking, what do I believe? What do I actually believe? What matters to me? What kind of woman has God created me to be, to become? Because when you know your values, people don't get to define you anymore. They don't get to mold you. They don't get to stretch you until you disappear. You begin living with intention instead of obligation. I'm still doing the work. I'm still uncovering my values. I'm still learning to stand firm. I'm still learning not to feel guilty when someone isn't happy with my boundaries or disappointed because I chose to honor what matters most to myself, to me. This isn't something that I've mastered. It's something I'm practicing, one decision at a time, one value at a time, one day at a time. But I can honestly tell you this. That I recognize myself more today than I did 1 year ago. And that has been worth every uncomfortable step. Every uncomfortable step. So are you choosing yourself? Are you going to choose yourself today? Choose yourself to make the change, one day at a time, one value at a time. one decision at a time. Are you choosing yourself today? I'm choosing me. Yes, I'm choosing me. Put that in the comments. I'm choosing me. Yes. If you're walking through this journey with me, I'd love to know, what are your top 3 values right now? And you let me know, what are your top 3 values right now? You can place your answers in the comment section. Now, if you'd like to work through this alongside with me, and you're welcome, then I've created the same workbook that I'm using. The link is in the description box. Remember, you're not lost. You've just been living someone else's life, and now it's time to discover your own. I'll see you on the app. So feel free to subscribe and join.